Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, and entertainment. And we'll give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we've got a pretty interesting show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, my name is Charles Sabansi. My handle is CTABANZ. If you want to follow the channel on Instagram, same name as the channel, Dreamers Pro. And also, if you want today's full show before it comes out on YouTube, it is streaming for free on the Dreamers Pro podcast. We have pinned below. Anyway, let me get into this topic here. So this is one of the last shows. No, this is, one of the last shows we're going to be producing for the year, and then we're going to be off until the 8th. So in case we don't talk again, you have yourself a happy new year. Anyway, speaking of New Year's and having a happy new year, I want to talk about the NBA, right? We had recently produced the show about 2 days ago, and it was talking about how the NBA has been struggling to bring in ratings, bring in new viewers, and to really be competitive with the NFL. We were talking about it retrospectively in a way, but we're only referring to last year, so I don't know how far we're going back. But we were talking about the NFL ratings against the NBA ratings and how they absolutely dominated them last year. And the NFL made it clear within the last 2 years or so that they want to be competing with the NBA on Christmas Day. Now, in the past, historically, Christmas Day, that holiday period, is a period in which the NBA usually dominated. Everyone tuned in to watch basketball. But over the last couple of years now, that has not been the trend. As a matter of fact, the NBA has actually been declining in viewership. So what happened? I came across an article here from Front Office Sports, which was published on December 28th, right? And it has the following headline. It says, "On a crowded Christmas, the NBA got cold, so say their dismal ratings." So that's what the article said, and that's really what I want to get into. But before we even get into that, this video is brought to you by our sponsor, Aura. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards, only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura, by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So let me get into the article here. It says the NBA knew the NFL was coming to steal its Christmas Day viewers. The ratings show that its strategy is working. Not only did the NFL see viewership increase for all 3 of its broadcast windows in the league's second year of offering a Christmas Day tripleheader, but those numbers seemingly came at the expense of the NBA's traditional slate of games. Among the NFL wins, that day's Las Vegas Raiders-Kansas City Chiefs game on CBS scored 29.2 million viewers, making it the most watched Christmas Day game in 34 years. The NBA, meanwhile, saw viewership decline in each of its 5 games compared to the same broadcast window in 2022. The steepest drop came from the Philadelphia 76ers Heat matchup, which drew 1.3 million viewers on ESPN and ESPN2, down 73% from last year's 8 p.m. Eastern Time matchup between the Memphis Grizzlies and Golden State Warriors. The 2022 game was simulcast on ABC, but this year, the NFL's nightcap, Baltimore Ravens 49ers, got the network main slot. Then it continues on. 3 of the NBA's other 4 games were down significantly. 42%, 39% and 18% from comparable broadcasts on Christmas Day in 2022, according to Sports Media Watch. The Denver Nuggets' 120-114 victory over the Golden State Warriors at 2:30 p.m. Eastern garnered 4.1 million viewers per the New York Post, which was down 5% from Dallas Mavericks' Los Angeles Lakers slot in 2022. Next year could bring some reprieve for the NBA as Christmas falls on Wednesday, a day the NFL typically doesn't play. But in the long term, it's clear the NBA will continue facing competition most years now that the NFL has decided to embrace the holiday. So, you heard what the article had to say. This is deeply concerning on many different levels. Many different levels. Let's talk about it from the NBA standpoint right now. If I'm the NBA, I have to ask myself the following question. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Given all of the various tools that are available for us to promote our game. I'm talking about social media. I'm talking about Instagram. I'm talking about TikTok. I'm talking about Twitter. I'm talking about people on TV twerking it up all over the damn place. All of these different things to promote the game, to keep the conversation relevant and vibrant. How is it possible that it's not translating into viewership and the numbers keep declining every single year? This is a very serious question that I think that the NBA needs to understand. And I think that the result that the NBA is currently receiving right now is a compounding effect of decisions that have been made over the last 5-10 years that are basically coming home to roost. Here's what I mean, and I'm just speaking from my vantage point, and I think from the vantage point from some of the viewers that we have on the channel. A lot of people have been complaining about the particular product that the NBA is putting out on the court. They don't believe it's competitive. They believe that it's too offensively centric. There is no emphasis on defense, and that is beginning to turn off a lot of people. And the numbers show it. People don't want to watch an offensive, marathon where no one is playing any defense and there's absolutely no resistance. This has been the sentiment of some fans and some former players like Kenyon Martin and others, where you've heard many of them say the game you can't even watch. It's getting to the point where it's unwatchable. That is a problem. Number two, and I think we need to address it, although it's very hard to quantify. This laissez-faire attitude that the NBA players have been giving off, where they kind of act like as if it's their right to be in the NBA instead of their privilege. And a lot of them mail it in. And you saw this manifest itself in last year's All-Star game, which Denver head coach Mike Malone described as the worst basketball game he had ever witnessed in the history of the sport. That's what an NBA level coach said of last year's debacle of an All-Star game. It was an absolute disaster. And it shows you that the players these days don't even give a damn about the fans to even go out there and put on a show on All-Star Weekend. Number three, if we're talking about All-Star Weekend, we need to also talk about this other issue. Do you notice now that it has gotten so pathetic that the NBA now has to recruit players from the G League and other places to participate in? Do you remember last year when they were saying, I forgot the player's name, that he saved the slam dunk? What happened to all the stars? What happened to John Morant? What happened to the best dunkers in the NBA? Where are these guys? Why aren't they competing? Do they believe that they're above it all? That's also a problem. The NBA wants to see big name players in the slam dunk contest. As a matter of fact, a lot of people don't even... The slam dunk contest 10, 15 years ago used to mean something. Now no one really cares. And this is something that has taken place on the watch under the stewardship of Adam Silvers. He has been at the heart of all of this. And there's no way we can look at these type of numbers and not attribute any of the blame to the commission. There's no way. I mean, in any other field, if you're underperforming and you're the head honcho, people are going to look at you. So these are very, very serious questions. The issue is not that the NBA is losing out to the NFL, because we're not really making any news here. The issue is Number one, it's not even competitive, number one. And number two, we're witnessing a decline over time. That's the problem. And it's a very, very serious one that I believe needs to be addressed. And I think that, it's something also for people to look at from a broader sense in terms of thinking of ways to diversify. If you look at it from a content standpoint, from a content creation standpoint, yeah, we talk about the NBA. It's fun, but I'm also, we're also exploring other avenues to talk about other things. Not that the NBA, I don't like the NBA. Of course I do. But, it's beginning to become stale. And there are other things that are also interesting to talk about. So even us, we're beginning to get experimental because there's clearly a problem here. And to act like as if it doesn't, these numbers, if you read these numbers and it doesn't spell it doesn't spell problems for you, then you're in some serious denial. Serious denial. But there are a lot of decisions that have been made over the last, 5-10 years that have led to this current result. And it's a problem and something needs to change. It's one of the reasons now you see the NBA implementing this load management rule or whatever the hell it is, because now they want to send their fans the message that we're an 82-game league. Well, that's not what you were doing before. Before you thought you were being so intellectual and we were going to follow science. We're going to follow the pseudoscience that we turned out to find that we found out there was no science. Because anybody thinking about the situation critically with a brain would ask, wait a minute, if players are supposed to be getting more medicine, getting more advanced and all of this stuff, and you're doing this load management and they're getting injured at a higher rate, clearly something is not working. Clearly something is not working. So to me, listen, this is a very, very big issue. It's not my issue to solve. It's the NBA's issue to solve. It's our job to bring you guys the information. So what I want to know from you guys, what do you think about this report and what it has to say? And what do you think the NBA can do in order to start trending in the opposite direction? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.